maybe not quite as stressful overall. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I feel like I'm ragging a little bit too hard. I'm really not trying to be.
Now we do have some kind of lower character levels. 25 from Baka's Taros, 33 from Lust's Barraza, and then a level 18 Rayman from Rite. That's one of the lower. I don't want to say one of the lowest because it's definitely not the lowest, but one of the lower character levels that I've seen in recent memory from a player, especially this far into a bracket.
Getting things started right off the bat. Lust trying to get those blaster damage hits down onto Kylar, and Kylar using the sword to just get around these hits. Oh, but the neutral air is coming out 3 in a row, trying to go for that recovery. Not going to find it as Kylar does get the neutral air back onto the stage. Now Rite looking for the clap, not going to find it. The gauntlet approach onto Baka, the side air though, disrupting just a little bit on the right as he makes his way back to the center of the stage, and now Lust falling with the axe. The double axe for the blue team being a very dangerous combo that is not going to happen for Baka. So losing that weapon straight off the bat, picking up the hammer instead, and now the neutral sig coming out from Rite, looking for that upper aerial attack. Very nice move from Rite to get Baka off stage, and good approach from Lust to try to cover his teammate. And now being able to cover that with the axe play, saving Baka, allowing him to get back on the stage is a huge play from him. And looking for the KO on the right, but oh no, he's going to take the fall.
That was some really sick movement from Baka over on the edge, throwing his weapon toss with all 4 players kind of being over there on the edge. He was throwing his weapon, hitting Rite, picking up a recovery, throwing his weapon again, hitting Rite again, and then he's able to get back for the unarmed recovery onto Rite. He's able to safely get back to the platform despite all 4 players were over there. Fantastic work from him. They want to clean up this knockout onto Rite to kind of even up the game so far. Lust is going to have to be careful. He's in the orange on his second stock. They're going to get that knockout from Rite. If they can put some damage on a Kylar, AUS is going to be dead even. They have him in the orange now. In comes Rite. He's able to grab those gauntlets very quickly. Big side air. Baka's going to come over. Double sidelight his teammate, trying to maybe do that 2v1 for just a second against Rite. Unfortunately, didn't have that real clean dial in on what Lust was going to be doing. Oh, man. They just took Kylar's stock out in a second.
Lust losing that second stock. Rite with the neutral air. Oh, and then the ground pound right off the follow-up. And that's going to be 2 KOs back-to-back onto the blue team with Kylar and Rite just holding on just a little bit longer. Rite being that stock tank right now, holding on to the second stock, not quite in that danger zone just yet. Looking for more of these gauntlet approaches, looking for the follow-ups into Kylar, where Kylar's just waiting there with that sword, with that neutral light. A very, very solid, very consistent team follow-up tool they can use to get a little bit more damage built up. And Rite still not losing that second stock. What a fantastic movement from Rite to hold on to that for as long as he did. And he's only just now going to be losing that second stock.
Stomp side air from Baka. Now you noticed in that 2v1 situation, even though it was the blue team that had the advantage, oh, nice neutral signature from Lust. That might have actually been what he was searching for now that I think about it. You saw him immediately run to the right side of the stage. It was almost like he was afraid of Kylar, AUS, but maybe he was just hunting for that neutral signature right over the corner. See them kind of spread out here a little bit, not really positioned for that 2v1 team combo. Side air coming out from Rite. Both members of the blue team on the right. They're going to surround Rite. Now Rite's on the wall. Both of the blue team members kind of stacking on top of one another. This is so winnable for Rite, especially when the blue team looks so scared.
So, like, this is one of those unusual situations. The 2v1 obviously affords you some kind of advantage because you have your teammate there to follow up on certain attacks. Rite having to make his way back. The weapon throw disrupting Baka, though. And that put Rite in a really good position to find that neutral air. But he did not connect it. The recovery! The opportunity was right there. He had to find it, and he just wasn't able to find that single opportunity to take Lust right off the top. Recovery, no. Neutral air, throwing him off stage. Good option. That's still going to end up in a KO. Weapon throw. He already used the recovery. So close.
Man, he was fingertips away. But you could see, holy cow, Rite had them so scared. They were stacked on top of one another. They were throwing weapons all over the place. Lust was hitting Baka with a lot of his weapon throws. Like, so many things from Lust towards the end of that game looked like a very nervous Lust. They were kind of like reckless and like, oh, I need to be doing something, so here, take this. And he ends up hitting Baka.
And that's one of those really dangerous situations, too. Both of them were deep in the red. Rite, of course, playing a character who side sigs on both weapons, really devastating on those low or high damage players. So he had the gauntlets out there. If he wanted to like do just a quick side sig with those gauntlets, it has that extended range. That could have been a very quick KO on one of them. Now, obviously, it's a signature move. You don't always find the opportunities for those. But at the same time, he had that opportunity there, and you just hate to see it happen when it slips through your fingers.
Everybody's able to grab a weapon very early into this game. We've got 2 hammers, an axe, and a pair of gauntlets from Rite. Neutral light coming in. In comes a down air from Lust, able to cover so much territory with those big axe swings. Nice spot dodge into the down signature, actually stepping back to where that down signature would end up hitting. Oh,
ooh,
Rite grabs
nice.
the gravity cancel, D-Light ground pound. There's Lust to grab a ground pound. We're dead even.
There's a good follow-up, a good response from the blue team to even up those stocks, because otherwise, if you let that run and you let them, the red team, hold on to both of those stocks the whole entire time by just backing off and playing safe, then you lose out on that opportunity to take an advantage later on, like you see now. With the blue team, 1 stock in the lead, with Lust still holding on to that very first stock.
Light coming in, hitting a blue team member and a red team member. In comes Lust with another down signature. Kylar AUS sent so far. Right there to relieve some pressure, hitting Baka. 2 members of the red team on the edge. There's Rite with a side air, bouncing, grabs the ground pound. That's the knockout. Baka's on his final stock. They're able to get, and they are. Lust picking up the top side of that recovery to send Kylar off the top. Man, Lust living on his first stock, though.
For real. I mean, when you talk about a stock tank, this is exactly what you want. You want a lot of damage dealt. You want a lot of damage taken. And you just want to survive that entire time, because everything just turns into more and more bonus damage, just like hitting the jackpot. Wherever, you're playing with jackpots. You got Baka on the deep portion on that wall, just barely surviving. Oh, and that clash is going to cost them that stock. But man, he was sitting down there living the entire time, something that you don't really see too often. Oh, and that is going to be Lust losing that second stock. Now it is going to be 1 to 3 stocks, right in the red, though. And Kylar AUS not too far from that danger zone. So, Lust, this is definitely in the realm of possibility right now.
So my question is, why was Baka playing down that low when he's orange on his final stock? Because all it was going to take was Rite to hit like 1 down air or 1 side air, and he was going to be cooked.
Or a clash.
Or a clash. Like, it was going to be over. That was so dangerous for him to do. Nice D-Sig coming out from Kylar AUS. Gravity get the neutral sig. Chase dodge up. He's still not going to be able to get over to the wall, and that's going to be the game for Rite and Kylar AUS. Man, Baka putting out only 360 damage. You spread that out across his 3 stocks. That's 120. That's not enough to get a character into red for each one of his stocks.
And that's one of those points where you gotta worry. You gotta change up your play style. You do see Lust hitting that point with a 460 damage, only 10 damage above that average point that you want to hit, where you want to get that 150 damage per stock. But going into the game number 3 now, we do have banned out maps. We have Miami, Apocalypse, and Crystal Temple left in the open. We did see Miami Dome already at some point, so maybe we'll see Apocalypse, maybe we'll see Crystal Temple, although, I'm less convinced on Apocalypse in 2v2.
Well, that's where we're going anyway.
Right.
It doesn't seem like Australia is worried about going onto Apocalypse. I think we saw some Apocalypse earlier today during a block that was not mine. I think it was during a TWK TK Breezy block.
That was the,
no
that was
character
the first
swaps,
block
though.
today.
Yeah, that was first block.
But man, all right, going to Apocalypse. All right, here we go. Kylar AUS, that sword, right, still without a weapon right now, and there's that weapon spawn on the field. He is going to find that axe. and that is going to give him a little bit of damage here. The neutral light throwing Baka off on the right side. Kenga, Kylar Alice in that, holding that center map positioning as he tries to just swap targets from Baka to Lust. The Baka's a Lust, and now back onto the Lust, getting thrown across to the right side. Baka making his way back into the center, getting hit by the down stick from his teammate. Kylar looking for that down air, finding it off onto Lust. Both blue team players being carried off the top. Side air, that's going to be a KO, and number 2 double KO for Rite.
A little bit of team damage came out in the process of that. We'll see how long the red team is able to extend these stocks. You're seeing Lust taking just a few moments before he's able to pick up a weapon. It is going to be blasters. He tosses them away immediately. Both members of the red team on that very short wall. The blue team not able to find a double knockout or any edge guard pressure. Rite's over on the left side. Kylar Alice in the middle of the stage eats a side air from Baka. It's going to be the knockout. The Nair is not enough to take out Rite off the top. He has the gauntlets in his hand. There's a Nair onto Lust. Stomp side air after the side light, following that up with a knockout move. And Baka is going to take that stock.
Kylar with these sword plays, just continuing this mobility, this versatility from the sword, being able to get just a, a hit and back off, go in, get a neutral air, back off, get a down air, back off, tries to go in again, gets stuffed out by the hammer, stop side air, that's a double hit coach pitch. Weapon throw from Lust into the weapon pickup ground pound. That was a really lucky weapon placement for him to be allowed to even do that in the first place, because without that weapon there, he isn't going to have that follow-up from the ground pound that he could just pick up immediately into the move. He is going to lose that stock, though. Very nice damage from the blasters right out of this last stock from Lust. Baka still in the second stock, same as Rite. Rite making his way back on the stage. Down air, side air, looking for that side air into Baka. Not going to find it, as Kylar almost gets picked up by the recovery. Still alive, though.
Ends up dropping that gravity cancel D-Light into the recovery that would have knocked out. They're able to take away the stock anyway. Rite finds himself 1v2 against Baka, against Lust, staring at two of the biggest axes in the game.
Baka and Lust holding onto those axes, looking for that dash in. You see Lust just playing that backside, looking for these opportunities to dash in and get this damage right out. Baka taking that front, that tanking position. He has that most, he has the least amount of damage up at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately for the blue team, you saw Baka hit that side light nair, but he also hit Lust, so he couldn't go for that recovery that might have knocked out his teammate. The side air almost knocking out Lust, but he's also able to hit one onto Rite, and that is going to be game 3, going the way of Baka and Lust. 687 damage from Baka, and he picks up 3 KOs. Lust picking up the other 3. Nice spread across the team for them. Lust took 565 damage. Pretty big damage numbers. But on the other side, Rite took 625. That's a solid number too. And Kylar took 587. That's also really solid numbers. Now, if only they could convert that into damage numbers, and if Kylar can pick up some KOs, coming in 0 KOs. Rite picked up all 4 that the red team got that game.
So we are actually going to be seeing a little bit of a swap here from Rite, as he is going to be going into the Petra pick, which he has in that level 2 off the battle pass. So this is going to be a pretty interesting swap over. Of course, Lust and Baka keeping their characters, and Kylar keeping on the Bodvar. They are going to be banning out all 3 maps that they had left open in the previous set. So we are going to be going to Shipwreck Falls this time, which could be a pretty interesting dynamic for the gauntlets coming out of Rite, being able to throw people off stage, be a little bit more aerial focused.
Yeah, we're going to see another map similar to Apocalypse with those teeny tiny sidewalls, but it's going to be a very long map from left to right, whereas Apocalypse is definitely shorter.
But the only other kind of difference there being that platform that floats around that gives you a little bit of extra space to move, so you don't have to spend the entire time on the main section of the stage. But this is going to be Lust and Baka trying to get this heavy weapon damage down onto the field. The hammer coming out from Baka, a lot of damage onto Rite, throwing him off stage to the left side, with everyone else just about even in the damage. Kylar trying to make his way above Rite to just cover that positioning. Lust looking for the recovery. Kylar with his own recovery, not gonna throw Lust too far away. The orb ground pound not gonna do too much against Baka as he gets around it. Baka getting launched by the side air from Kylar. Side air number 2, that's gonna be a KO. And Rite finding another KO off on the right side. That's a team double right there, and that's going to give them the immediate advantage starting game number 4.
Ooh, big side signature coming out from Baka. I'm hoping this swap over to the Petra is going to give Rite some more consistent knockout options. He doesn't have to like jump, fast fall, jump, fast fall, jump, fast fall, like you do with Axe when you're trying to hunt for that side air. He's not going to necessarily have to rely on signatures, though Petra does have a very good signature hit. You can just hit those sidelight side airs, and you'll be able to knock someone out with that. It might take a little bit longer on this map because those blast zones on the left and the right are really far away, but still, hopefully that'll give him maybe a more consistent knockout option that he can rely on when he puts out the damage.
Kylar with the hammer doing a really, really nice job at getting a lot of damage out right now, getting a lot of these aerials, a lot of those 19 damage aerials onto both of these guys, although I guess with the defense calculations in there, might be 18 or so. It depends on the decimal rounding. Anyway, that's Lust getting taken off the top. One stock left. Kylar almost getting followed suit. And now with the sword, able to be a little bit more versatile, trying to deal with some of these axe plays. Maybe not so much. Don't think he can get back. And Rite is not nearly close enough to be able to go and to find that save. So Kylar last stock now with Rite being the only person left with a second stock in, well, not anymore. All right, never mind. Everyone on one stock now.
He's been doing pretty solid with this orb. That's going to be his next weapon pickup. Unfortunately, Baka grabs the axe right out from under him. But when he picks up that orb, a lot of his game is that sidelight side air. Sometimes if he misses the side air, you'll see him spot dodge the next move that his opponent throws out and then goes with that kind of more stacked neutral light right in place. But it's a lot of sidelight side air. There you go. See, sidelight side air gets interrupted by the blue team. There's a nice neutral air. Recovery comes out. And there's the neutral light trying to hit Lust as he picks up the blasters. Gravity cancel sidelight side air for the knockout, and the red team cleans it up. That consistent damage, putting out 488. It's not a ton, but he was still able to find it consistently without taking too much damage. He didn't have to necessarily fish for things unsafely, because even when he missed the side light, spot dodge, neutral light, as his opponent came down to punish.
Now we got game number 5 rolling up onto the plate. We have the last game in the set. Who is going to make it to that grand finals? We will find out in just a moment here at the culmination of this set. Kylar, Alice, and Rite facing off in the last game here against Lust and Baka. It has been extremely close with just a waveform of back and forth between these two teams. So it is anyone's guess on who will be able to take this down.
Here comes Rite going against Baka. He's going to have to come back from a lot of damage that was already built up on him. Baka doesn't have too much damage on this stock. In comes Lust, grabs the blasters. Neutral light misses, recovery misses. Side air from Rite. Immediately rotates over to the left side. Tries to help out Kylar, Alice. He had everything under control. Moves to the right side. Puts the attack onto Lust. Oh, yeah, he's going to grab that one. It also grabbed Kylar, Alice, but he ended up knocking out Lust without knocking out Kylar.
Rite using the backboard on the wall as well, trying to cover that wall positioning when Baka was trying to make his way back up. Coach pitch off onto the right side. That's going to be another KO with that full rush from Baka, taking out the stock from Rite as well, getting that quick double. And that is going to give the blue team a little bit of breathing room as they did start a little behind. Baka is in that orange positioning right now and could be in that danger zone very, very quickly if he's not careful.
See Rite trying to put some pressure onto Baka. Rite's starting to take a fair bit of damage here. Oh! Kylar hits the stomp and backs up a little bit.
I think he was a little worried about hitting his teammate there with the side air. I mean, he does, like, Rite is in the red. He doesn't want to hit Rite, you know, with that side air because it could be absolutely devastating, especially if that blue team is paying attention.
He also could have been worried about that, like, weird pickup when you hit a downlight on someone who's just on the corner, so he wouldn't have been able to get the side air follow-up. But yeah,
Very
definitely
true.
not the worst idea to not go for that side air there. Just interesting what he was thinking.
Yeah. I'd love to know what he was thinking in that moment. That'd be really interesting. But Baka in the red getting caught in the neutral light. That is going to be pushed off onto the left side. It is going to be Baka and Rite still in their second stocks deep in the red. Kylar looking for that KO onto Baka. Rite just trying to play a little game of avoidance right now. Getting carried off the top by Kylar, unfortunately. That is not a good trade there because they weren't able to pick up Lust off the top. Now being able to find Baka though, equalizing those stocks, making things a little bit better in their position. is, I guess, the best position that they can hope for right now.
Nice dare coming out from Lust. We're pretty even, but Lust is going to have to be very careful. Picks up both members of the red team, and Baka is able to follow up off of it. Hits Lust with an air, hits Lust with a neutral light. The neutral light being worse than the dare. Lust is already in knockout zone, so the dare's not too bad, but that neutral light gets him over to the edge. Rite finds the recovery. Baka has to fight this 1v2. Definitely winnable for him.
Weapon coverage by Baka. Kylar is able to get in there, pick up that sword. Neutral light, doesn't find that team pickup, and Kylar is down. It is in the 1v1, Rite going right into the side sig. Oh, looking for another one, stop. Still hovering right above that zone though, not getting picked up by a side air coming out. Oh, looking for the dodge option, not sure which way he is gonna dodge. That is the side air pickup.
This is our game 5 situation. The winner of this goes up into the grand finals. Kylar, Alice, and Rite want their second chance against Doggo and Bailey. Baka and Lust also want their chance. Ooh, signature's coming out, stops coming out. It is going to be Rite taking it. This Petra pick, man, turning things around. They kept Lust on 382 damage. Rite almost putting out 594 this time. Look at the difference, man. His Petra was really good before, doing like 488 damage, but it was consistent, and he's able to step that up this game. Almost 600 damage, 4 knockouts. Kylar, Alice coming in no problem here with the 522 damage, 2 knockouts as well. The red team really leveled up that last game playing against Baka and Lust.
And that, I think, Kylar really did find a lot of success. Before, in those first couple games, Kylar was really focusing